On, guys, I'm currently in the process of buying a truck. The reliability of trucks, like looking at because I'm looking at probably like an older Ford Ranger or a Nissan Frontier. My brother sent me this Nissan Frontier, which is only 8,000 bucks and has around 60,000 miles on it, which for an old vehicle that old, that's crazy. Usually vehicles that old have hundreds of thousands of miles, up to almost 200,000, and you don't want to be buying something that's 200, 300,000 miles. They might be a reliable beast of a truck, but I don't even know if they're considered mid-size or if they're considered like compact cars. I really don't necessarily know on that, but I'm looking at like the Ford Ranger Sport Edition, or the X, what is it, the X XLT extended cab, because I know for a fact that if I have more than 2 people in the car, or in the truck I should say, it's going to give me some room in the back, so they can at least sit in those crappy foldable seats. Or it's going to give me the ability to have room in the back, so if I need room for putting tools or something like that, or maybe just like a bag of groceries or something, instead of putting it in the bed of the truck, I'm going to have room to put it in the cabin. And the reason why not a full-size truck, I don't need that. And I'm a dude who, I'm a small dude, so I want something reliable that's better on gas. They are a V6 instead of a V8, and they're around 210 horsepower. I've been focusing on 2 cars because I know I know for a fact that for some reason the values of a Toyota Tacoma, which I really want, it's one of my ultimate dream vehicles, is extremely high for the 10-year vehicle. It's like a 10-year vehicle is still around, what, 10,000, 11,000, somewhere even almost 20 grand. And I don't know if that's just because Toyotas hold value a lot, but it's probably, my focus is between the Nissan Frontier, which I've looked at, the one that my brother was telling me to buy, or looking at, and it looks very reliable. It's a crew cab, I think they call it, which has actual real seats in the back. But from the reviews and forums and like Kelly Blue Book, I think they call it, they actually said, a lot of people said that if you're a big dude that's like 5'9" and taller, you can't sit in the back because the cabin is actually small, and the cabin is actually not. People are saying that this truck is a workhorse. It gets you from point A to point B. It's the biggest truck out of the small compact trucks, I guess. They say it's bigger than the Ford Ranger of its time. It's bigger than the Toyota Tacoma of its time. So it's a workhorse. Like I said, I love non-American vehicles just because I've heard so much problems for non-American, for like Fords. I've heard nothing but problems with, but I've heard the Ford Ranger is a hell of a truck. They're not making them in the U.S. anymore. They're making them overseas. The only problem I've heard about this vehicle is a lot of people say they have problems with gas tanks. I'm not exactly sure, but a lot of people in the reviews are saying the gas tank has problems. Like, I guess it rusted, or they have to put a new gas tank. But most people are saying that it's very reliable. They run like a beast. They're a workhorse. They last long. The only problem is, like I say, they say the maintaining is relatively easy. They say the actual engine bay is easy to actually navigate and actually figure out how to learn how to work on it. and whatnot. So I'm looking probably at that vehicle. Like I said, I'm going to be calling the dealership up and making an offer. I got to see it in person first, but I want to make an offer of like $6,000 and see if they'll haggle with me and see if they'll allow me to go that cheap if I'm putting down $1,000, because I think for the price range, damn, did someone turn on the light? God dang. I don't wear sunglasses. God dang. But overall, man, I think that's the truck I'm going to go for, because the dealership that has the Ford Rangers looks to be like a piece of trash, a piece of garbage, to be honest. They're telling you in the reviews, in the freaking reviews of this dealership, that they're flying people from around the country to come to this dealership to buy 10 or 12-year-old cars, and they're putting them in first-class hotels, private jets, and you look at the dealership, they only been open for 24 months, 2 years. There's no way a dealership that is small, that's called like Bob's Auto Shop, auto dealership, there's no freaking way that they're allowing you to fly you from like California, New York, Boston, or like the Middle East over to here. That's a lie. That's somebody that probably, what I think happened is they wrote the review, like they hired somebody or somebody made the review from the company itself, because overall there's no way that a company that flying, I never heard of a dealership flying people in from around the country. That just sounds completely utter bogus. But, and honestly guys, that's probably the only truck I would not look at is the Honda Ridgeline. There's almost no trailer space. I mean, like there's no space for anything. That reminds me, like, it should have been like an SUV or something. And look at this. You got this person sitting there blocking traffic because they want to park in the handicap spot. That is dumb. So we're back in the car from Walmart, but I'm just being 150% realistic on what I can afford and what I apologize for the mount having you can actually see the mount. I'm gonna have to get a different suction cup mount if I want to do the dual camera view. But overall, those two cars, I haven't test driven any of them yet, so what I'm finding, if I look at the Chevy S10s, the Chevy S10, for example, all those are single cab, and they all have manual transmission, and I don't know how to drive a manual transmission, so that is one of my downfalls. And I don't really think I want to be driving a manual transmission, especially where I live, especially when it's like heavy traffic all the time, stop and go traffic. That's just something I'm not interested in. I mean, a friend of mine said he learned in a week, like fluently learned a week driving back and forth to work, and he learned where the knobs were and everything. But for me, I just don't want to, I mean, I do want to learn, yes, but do I want that to be my daily driver? Probably not. If it was like a rental car or something like that, then I don't think I'd have a problem with it. And when it comes to a car, there's only two cars that I've actually looked at. One is a Acura Integra GT, I think it's a GTRS, which they don't make the those models anymore. They don't even make that car anymore. And the Integras are a beast. I have a buddy of mine who has one, and he says there's nothing but the best vehicle out there. He loves them. They're made by Honda, and they're just a really good economical car if you want to use them for that. They were, from what I understand from reading reviews online and watching reviews, they were basically a, look at this clown. Look at that clown. They basically were a race car made for the street, is pretty much what they were. And when you think about a race car for the street, you know they have some horsepower, and they are what a lot of people consider racers, and they're pretty good in the car community for like tricking them out and tuning cars. That's what a lot of people use those cars for. Or I was looking at a Toyota Celica, which my brother had, and he said he had nothing but no problems with it. Besides, I think he blew a rod out at like 200,000 miles. And like I said, those are the two cars I'm looking at. But I'm really focusing on trucks overall. Just get a nice truck that I can use, that would be reliable to get me back and forth to like work, get me around town, something that's gonna be able to tow something, I mean like haul something in the bed of the truck if I ever need it, because you never know when you want to go get that big ass TV, or you want to get something and you go, oh damn, my car can't hold it, I gotta lay all the seats down and it's gotta be sticking out the trunk. Or you gotta be like, hey dude, you gotta call your friend who has a truck, hey, is it cool if you come by and I use your truck for a day? And they're like, for what? Oh, I need to pick this up. And they're like, you can't even do that in your car. And you always have to ask people. And I don't want to always have to rely on other people to pick up certain products or certain things that I might need. You never know when you might need like a bunch of 2x4s or a bunch of 4x4s that are like 8 feet long. You never know. But in a car, there's no physical way you're going to be able to haul that around. But yeah, guys, that's just my video for today. It's gonna be probably the Nissan Frontier if the dealership contacts me back. Like I said, I just gotta contact them on their website, because I don't see a phone number, so I gotta like email them. And you know, cars that are older, a lot of them are manuals, but a lot of them have extreme mileage on them. But when you find like a hidden car that's like 60,000 miles, that's a 13-year-old vehicle, you're like, wow, that's almost not even broken in, because broken in nowadays is 100 plus. Because I'm not looking for something that because I know everything I'm looking for is going to be basically a car that I'm going to have to work on. At least I'm going to have to at least probably learn how to work on it. And it's better to learn how to work on it, because sometimes you can, let's say, change your brakes for like nothing. For like maybe 80 bucks, you change your brakes, you change your tires. You go to a car dealership and have them do it, or a car body shop, and you're looking at like maybe $200 to do like a $60 job. These roads are freaking narrow, man. I hate these roads. This is just like the shortcut back to my house instead of taking the highway. But these roads are freaking narrow. But if you guys like this kind of video where I'm just shooting the shit with you guys and driving, hit that like button and subscribe. Because I love getting in the car and just riding out. And riding and driving is something that is comfortable for me. And like I said, once I get my vehicle, I'm planning either New Orleans trip or going to North Carolina, because me and a buddy definitely want to see the snow. I definitely miss the California weather, because I grew up in California, and I miss this time of year in November, December, January. It would snow, or it would be like 30 degrees out and you'd have to have a coat on and you'd be freezing your ass off. But I definitely miss that kind of weather. I'm back at the house, and I will definitely talk to you guys in the next one. If you guys know anything about the Nissan Frontiers or the Ford Rangers, let me know in the comment section below. Which one would you buy?